So Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a Chinese developer made Souls-like, is my understanding. It is a game that's been hotly anticipated, and when it launched yesterday, it blew up. 111,000 players in game, super high numbers. But the reviews are a poopy. What happened? Why are the reviews so bad? Well. If we go to their Steam page, you can see mostly negative, 11,000 reviews. Fun game so far, but extremely awful performance. Forced FSR/TSR, really? End at 50% on Ultra preset? It's a joke. UE5 games are a bit of a hit or miss when it comes to performance, and in this case, it's a miss, unfortunately, at least for my system. The game needs a free demo for this exact reason. Boss fights are pretty decent from the ones I managed to play. Unstable UE5 game. A lot of these people are getting 20, 25 minutes into it and then giving up and refunding it. This is just another heaping pile of UE5 pig slop, bereft of any further distinction. It goes without saying, if the engine is UE5, it's going to perform egregiously. A lot of UE5 haters in here, tell you what. This game would crash almost anytime I change my display settings between windowed and windowed full screen. When I managed to actually get the settings I wanted, I could generally get 70 to 100 FPS, but for some reason it still felt choppy as if it was 30 FPS. Maybe I will try again another time, but it feels like it should be in a much better state than this. Now, at this point, after 11,000 reviews, only 26% of them are positive. Now, you may see if we go down that if I filter it to just English reviews, it's actually mixed. If you filter it and you remove that filter, most of the reviews are from Chinese gamers, actually, which is a little interesting. This game's player base, I think, is overwhelmingly Chinese. That's where a lot of the player base is coming from. But I wanted to see for myself. I want to test it. Because you guys know, I'm a sucker for punishment. I really just hate being happy, apparently. So I bought a copy and I downloaded it. And I want to give it a shot. I want to see how good/bad it really is for myself. And if it really is bad, we can always just request a refund and move forward. But I want to see because the game seems interesting. It seems compelling, but I want to see how good or bad it actually is. So let's do that now. Boot up. Booting up. Here we go. Compiling shaders. Please don't exit the game. I wouldn't dare. We are going to give it a chance. We're going to give it a chance. Didn't for China, they reduced the price after people pre-ordered and didn't give any refunds? I don't actually know that. That's interesting if the case. Don't exit or else. I think Stellar Blade is far ahead from what I played. It's at least decent. Okay. I'm hopeful that it's not a total dumpster fire. That's my hope. But we're going to find out. You should play it on console. The game rules, but it's clearly broken on Steam. Yeah, I think we looked at the reviews. The reviews were like generally in the 70s, I believe. But that's partially a mix, I'm sure, of like performance issues with game issues. Okay, camera options, mouse and keyboard graphics settings. Let's see what the defaults are. Okay, extreme, motion blur, depth of field, return. Depth of field's always good. Borderless windowed, brightness. Dude, setting already to 50% resolution seems wild, but okay. No, frame generation causes screen tearing. Dude. They don't recommend running it at balanced. You see current level balanced, and then if you go performance is okay. If you go balanced, it says current settings exceed recommended values. They don't recommend balanced? That's ridiculous, dude. Okay. I'm already blown by that. I'm gonna set it to the basic of qualities. I'll go 69. It's a blessed number. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with. Let's see. Fallen feathers? Looks good so far. Wonder if her feathers are gonna fall. I see jiggle physics, boys. Keep it together. Keep it together. I don't want to hear any mom. No, Jack. No. I don't want to hear any mommies. I don't want any thirsties. I don't want any milk, please. I don't want none of that, okay? We're gonna be mature, reasonable adults. Okay, yeah, I forgot uppies. No uppies. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Mysterious and moody. How about steppies? Steppies on my face? Yeah. Smooth. I like the music.
He must have treasure stashed around here. What's I say? Why else would he be coming at me?
Okay. Lock on heavy attack, charge attack. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, it doesn't lunge as far as you may think.
Your riches are mine.
Oh, left bumper also. Okay. Oh, weird. Okay, okay. I'm tracking. So left bumper also does like the lunging swirl. Left trigger does the kick. Right bumper does a quick slash. R2 does a heavy lunge, but without the same range as left bumper. Okay. Interesting, interesting. I'm so used to these games, left bumper is parry. Like you just go pop, pop, but that does not do parry in this. Hold down B and you can run. Okay. So far, so one of the reviews mentioned I'm hitting 60, 70 frames, but it feels like 30. I mean, as of right now, we're in the 70s and it feels smooth enough. Like it's not buttery smooth. The frame pacing is a little off, but it's not atrocious or anything. Hello. Not atrocious or anything. The one thing that I have to stress, no, frame gen is not on. Frame gen is not on. It causes screen tearing with my capture card and stuff, so we don't use that when we test games. It's also, I feel like it's cheating most of the time, so I just don't do that. One thing that's important to stress though is that I'm running this on a 4090 and we're still using DLSS set to quality. We're rendering at 69% of the normal full resolution of 4K. And even then, we're still in like the 70s, 60s, 70s. Yes, so this is pretty much cranked up to the max. So everything is on like high or extreme or everything, which you would expect for like top of the line GPU to be able to manage that. Unlock the door. I want to see if it changes once we open the doors to like the broader environment. Yeah, a little bit. Now we're down there. Awaken the powers of the shrine. Let's do it. Okay, ooh. Ooh. Okay, I think this is all pre-order stuff. I think that's what all this is. But I didn't pre-order it. But I guess they gave this away? I don't know. Why are they giving it to me? I'll just take it all. I thought you just bought it? No, I think my currency is on the top right. It didn't subtract any. If it did, maybe, speaking of student loans, maybe now I'm just in super debt. Okay, high crown, head, high crown. Okay, so lightning, primarily blight, burn, frostbite. I mean, I'll just go based off of look, because at this point, I don't think we know. What's this outfit? Okay. I had a Palico dressed up like this in Monster Hunter World. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's using the upscalers. Fur is usually like the worst nightmare for like DLSS and FSR and stuff, but still. Let's go. Let's try this one. This one seems interesting. Control yourselves. We'll use this one. God damn. Let's get down here. I want to see specifically a little bit of combat. Off of blood. There we go. That's sketchy. Okay. Let's go down here and see how the frame rate does once we're in like a normal level. Oh, there's a little dip. So obviously, like in my humble opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm genuinely interested if you guys agree or disagree with this. It seems to me kind of ridiculous that you can be using like a $1,500 GPU, like a 4090. I'll be generous, $1,300, and still be in like the 60s or 70s with DLSS on quality. Like, I don't think the game is bad looking, but I also don't think it's good enough looking to justify that kind of performance hit, you know? As we know it. Okay. I want to respect everybody's time because we're not here to do like the deep dive. If it does run well enough to actually play, I'm down to play. But I don't want to just kind of meander around. I want to actually like test it. But it does seem crazy that you need a crazy powerful system just to run it at like basic manageable frame rates. Ooh. Is this foreshadowing? Gigantic claw marks. Looks like it. Looks like it. This door? Is this where I'm going? Reverend Temple Key. I'm guessing I still have to talk to the guy over there. Okay. I was trying to go fast, be a fast boy.
Do you think our baby bug will look like us? I'm so excited to meet him.
It is spoopy. It is spoopy. I was looking at the candles too. Control yourselves. So with these types of things, it's why it's always so frustrating when a game launches with like major performance issues and optimization issues. Because then the whole dialogue, all of the discourse around it is not over whether the game is good. The whole thing is like based around the performance. And it sucks because the game could be really, really good, but nobody gets to talk about it because, you know, you're only talking about how it's kind of broken and clunky. Oh, God. By crew. Okay. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Okay, okay. I'm dead. Okay. Dude, it's Timu Koss. Dude. At least he doesn't have a placenta swinging around him. The charge did 70. Okay. You have fallen. Yes. I agree. I do think that like games like these, especially with like really tight dodge timings and, you know, sometimes parry timings and everything, it's really crucial to have performance decent. Otherwise, like, you know, the game stutters a little bit and then, you know, you die and it feels really, really bad. Ooh, so that's just like the tutorial bit. They don't even like really, they're probably not expecting you to get through that. Okay. I feel less bad now. I feel less bad now. I was like, oh, I gotta get through that. Yeah, it's these broader sweeping areas where it takes a nosedive, dude. Look, now we're in the low 60s. I wonder what happens if I just try to render it at full resolution. Is it just gonna take a total crap? Let's try rendering it at full resolution. Can I turn off? They won't let you turn it off. Dude, they won't let you turn off super sampling, so you have to leave it on. Well, I'll just have it render at full resolution and we'll see. We'll see what it does. It won't let you turn it off though. That's crazy. Okay, much sharper. It looks much sharper. But it runs way worse. Oh God. You remember when we used to play all of these types of games at 30 frames? And that was just considered like normal, deal with it, suck it up. Dude, that's rough. That's unfortunate.
Over here.
Like, what is... Again, it's fine if a game is really, really heavy and like extreme settings take it down onto like 30, 40 frames, but it has to look like it. You know, it's gotta look photorealistic if it's gonna be that heavy on extreme settings. And it better look like pretty good on normal settings or decent settings. Not kidding, it does look that good to me. I mean, I just think like in terms of like texture quality, post-processing, the level of detail in the geometry, I don't see it being on that level. Aw, little skeleton of a monkey maybe on the ground. Oops. I don't know. To me, in my humble opinion, I don't think that this runs well. It's a little rough. I'd have to do more testing and try it on like a 3060 and 3070 and stuff to see how it runs on like average hardware. But considering that they force you to use upscalers, they force you, like you cannot turn it off. And then they also like, I still feel as though it just doesn't run anywhere near well enough even with that stuff. It's too bad. Because again, like the discussion with the game can't really be had at that point. It just turns into a discussion over the performance instead of a discussion over the game. And that always just kind of sucks. This says, mostly complain about performance. This is a completely valid complaint. Performance issues are almost always solved shortly after a game is released. So even if your system cannot handle it at this point, I recommend returning once issues are solved. If you believe that your system can handle this, then I definitely recommend you try out Wuchang. I believe that the gameplay is enjoyable and the graphics are lovely. I apologize for the poor quality of my actual game review. I have little experience with reviewing. Basically, I really like it so far. Thank you for reading. That's sweet. That's just kind of wholesome. It's very sweet. So performance, not great. I hope they overhaul it and can fix it up, because a lot of these boss fights and stuff genuinely look super, super cool. It's just like, if you can't run the game, especially in a Souls-like, you're not going to want to bash your head against the wall against some of these boss fights if it doesn't run solid, you know. You gotta handle that. So hopefully they figure it out. Fake frames have made devs lazy. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a crutch they can rely on. And we saw that once I forced it to render at full resolution, so going from like basically 70% to 100%, it lost half of its frames trying to cram out those extra pixels. And I understand it's heavy. That's why, you know, they use DLSS and stuff. But I personally didn't feel as though it looked graphically good enough to justify forcing DLSS usage and stuff and all of the graphical limitations and artifacting that can bring. But again, I'd have to try it out on some lower end systems to really see what it's like. Because on a 4090, yeah, it better be playable. But you know, it's when you try it on like a 3060, 3070 that people are saying it's unplayable. And that's where the real problem is. Like if you have a $3,000-$4,000 PC, you should be able to make pretty much any game playable, no matter how heavy it is and unoptimized it is. You should just be able to brute force your way through it. But the point is 99.9% of people don't have that. They're running on like a 3060, 3070, something like that, according to the Steam survey. So it's unrealistic to demand that of them, you know? So I don't know, if one of you guys has like a 3060 or 3070 and you've tried it out, let me know.
He took my thing.